Hey everybody, it's Elliot from Little Punk People here, and today, once again, I'm here with my dad. We are here in the middle.
That's what I just did. I didn't even get it right. Why did I do that? I'm losing my mind. Start over?
Alright. Hey everybody, it's Elliot from Little Punk People here, and today, once again, I'm here with my father. We are here in the middle of nowhere, and today we're going to be talking about our top 10 favorite albums to listen to in the fall.
Metal albums mainly. Metal, and then we throw in a couple punk.
Yeah.
So
we're both also wearing our two cool shirts. We're nerds here. I'm wearing my Death Halloween shirt. He's wearing his Fatal Portrait.
that's right.
Yeah. So let's get into it. You start it off.
Okay, I'll start it off. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to... right before we prepare this, I threw in a number 11.
Okay.
So, for number 11, I just wanted to mention Possessed, Seven Churches. The band Possessed is slowly becoming my favorite death metal band. It's very close between them and Death, but I've really been listening to a lot of them lately. And Seven Churches had to be a part of this because songs like The Exorcist, Burning It... Well, the album starts off with The Exorcist. Burning in Hell, death metal. This guy is a pioneer, or this band are pioneers of death metal, and I really wanted to add them in this list. So Possessed, Seven Churches is something to start off with. So now you want number 10?
Yeah.
For number 10, I have Alice Cooper.
Welcome to my nightmare.
I have Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare for number 10. He had to be included in this because, speaking of pioneers, Alice Cooper is one of the pioneers of horror rock, horror metal, and that's my favorite album of his. So, number 10, Alice Cooper.
Nice. Now here is my number 10. It is Danzig. Danzig himself, he's very Halloween gothy, and I'm going to go with the self-titled album. Twist of Cain, that literally sounds like a Halloween riff right there. And then also, Not of This World is another one of my favorites, and it reminds me of Halloween, that riff too. Danzig himself, like I said earlier, reminds me a lot of Halloween, so.
And that's a good choice. Personally, for this time of year, I would, you know what? That's a good choice. Danzig Lucifuge must be mentioned as well, though. Okay, number 9, I have Helloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1. Of course, because that album maybe has a slight edge over Part 2 as it is, but Part 1 has the song Halloween on it. It's an epic song. It's pretty long. I remember seeing that video for that song in the Headbangers Ball. Great band. The band is called Helloween. The song Halloween is on the album. Had to be number 9 on my list.
All right. I know this is a very unusual choice for my number 9 spot. I chose Black Flag's In My Head. I understand Black Flag literally has nothing to do with Halloween, but this album in particular reminds me a lot of just a skeleton, especially the guitars. Reminds me of like a skeleton cartoon. And Henry Rollins' voice at some points gets very creepy and scary. So, In My Head. And also Henry Rollins said that fall is his favorite time of the year, so...
Yes.
You have to give props to him.
Yep, absolutely. It's an interesting pick, and you're right. It is a creepy sounding Black Flag album, and he is a fan of the fall. I know that, and it really is an interesting pick. But I like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready for number 8?
Yes, I am.
Okay, for number 8, I have Death, Scream Bloody Gore. It has songs like Zombie Ritual. Has another song like Evil Dead, which is a horror movie as well. And to me, it just has that 80s slasher feel to it, more of a raw gore vibe to the other Death albums, because this is their first full-length album. And the album cover, everything, it just reminds me more of like a Halloween record. And, we wanted to include Death because we listen to a lot of them. So for me, it's that album.
And this is our first debate here on this list. I'm choosing Death's Spiritual Healing. Main reason why I choose Spiritual Healing is whenever I think of Death, I always go back to that album because I always remember that day when I first listened to Death and hearing that album, my mind being blown throughout the entire album. And if you tell me a Living Monstrosity that breakdown / guitar solo does not remind you of Halloween, then I think you're kind of crazy. I think you're going mad. So
Okay. Number 7 is a punk band. It is The Damned, and the album that I chose is Grave Disorder. And to me, that album cover is very... I love just the Halloween vibe to it. It's fun. It's a fun vibe as well, which I like. I want there to be some fun in this list as well, like Halloween, like with dressing up in costumes and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, it's got a fun vibe. And the album I have here sounds like a vampire bat all the way through, like one of my favorite singers, David Vanian. He's like got that crooner style, and he's got the full getup, and I could just totally hear it on this album. And their production on this album is great, and so I chose this one.
All right. For my damned pick, I am choosing Evil Spirits. I mean, to start off, the album's named Evil Spirits. So, and also, Sonar Deceit, that song is literally the definition of Halloween. I always picture bats. Do you want to say what you see whenever you hear that song?
Yeah, it's a good choice because Sonar Deceit is probably my favorite song on that album. It's their latest full-length album, The Damned, Evil Spirits. And the song Sonar Deceit reminds me, anytime I hear it, I picture a big Halloween party in my head and everyone's decked out in their Halloween costume dancing at like a dark room with crazy Halloween lights and decorations everywhere. And David Vanian is singing in his crooning style and his full vampire getup. So I definitely like that choice.
Thank you. And I like yours too.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going into number 6, and I have Black Sabbath. Of course, Black Sabbath is going to be in most of our lists, so I'm not going to say much about it. Black Sabbath, self-titled first album, Black Sabbath. The album cover, that whole vibe of that, also the whole album. But, I mean, I could go on about Black Sabbath forever, so I'm just going to say that.
All right. At my number 6, I choose Black Sabbath's Master of Reality. I agree with the album cover and the title track, but when you're talking about a whole album for fall, I feel like Master of Reality tops it, just by a little bit. I mean, Into the Void, that song is a literal... I mean, Tony Iommi is a riff lord. I mean, it's known by now. Any one of his riffs I'll absolutely love, and on this one, it feels a little more evil, so...
And as you can see, we made this list together, and for each of these bands, most of these bands we both agreed on, but we disagreed on album a little bit. So we were going to debate a little bit here and there on my choice of album versus his.
Yeah.
So I just wanted y'all to know that. So on to number 5. For number 5, I have Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath.
Nothing
That's
else.
all I'm going to say.
All right, for my Merciful Fate pick, I am choosing In the Shadows. I mean, that album cover art alone reminds me of Halloween. The cool night sky and the tree and the shadowy figure. And just speaking about trees, the old oak tree is one of my favorites ever too. That album reminds me a lot of Halloween and trick-or-treating and like wearing cool masks and stuff. So
Yeah, you know what? You make a good argument, so I can't disagree with you on In the Shadows. So maybe they're a tie. But, even with the album cover of In the Shadows, with the tree, the songs like the old oak tree, more of a windy fall vibe. So I hear you. Nice choice. Okay. Number 4, we're going to one of the best ever, Ozzy. And I chose Bark at the Moon. For that record, on the album cover, he's wearing his awesome wolf costume, and that's the costume that I wished I owned, that I had, so I could wear it most of October every year. So that's one big reason why I chose that album, plus the song, the title track, Bark at the Moon. Also, at my age, when we get to this time of year, I start to feel like I could slow down a little bit. It gets darker earlier, it gets colder out, and I'm 45 years old, so songs like Slow Down and So Tired kind of really, really have a nice ring to me. Hopefully we have a nice rest of the year and the holidays come and we get more days off of work and that kind of stuff.
all right,
It's a good argument for someone my age.
For my Ozzy choice, I am choosing Diary of a Madman. I mean, I 100% agree with you with the Wolfman costume, but you have to admit the cool ghoul vampire type costume that he's wearing is cool too. And songs like Diary of a Madman and Flying High Again, Over the Mountain, that stuff reminds me a lot of Halloween and fall. So, I mean, 100% agree with you with It's another tie. Good choice.
That was a nasty bug on your arm that I swapped out. So
Thank you.
I don't know what it was, but it was kind of big.
It was something. Good thing I didn't see it.
Yeah. We're going on to number 3. So we're getting to the heavier hitters here.
This is the top 3.
Number 3, I chose King Diamond, the album Fatal Portrait. This album has the song Halloween on it.
Both for King Diamond and Merciful Fate, it's very self-explanatory. I understand. But for my King Diamond pick, I choose Conspiracy. I mean, Sleepless Nights, that's tied with Family Ghost of my favorite King Diamond song ever. And then also the song Something Weird is like a Halloween orchestra. So I don't know why that album gives me massive trick-or-treating vibes to me.
Really nice choice. I just want to reiterate the fact that this album that I chose has the song Halloween on it. That's why. Number 2. The Misfits. Of course, it's a punk band, but come on, it's the Misfits. I chose Collection 2. That album has Halloween, the song on it, Halloween 2, the song, and Horror Hotel. It's a must-have. It's essential for this time of year, aside from being an essential band all around. So, absolutely, Misfits Collection 2.
Well, I mean, you're kind of cheating because isn't that kind of like a compilation album?
I would actually call it a collection. Collection 2.
Okay, my Misfits choice is going to be Walk Among Us. I mean, Vampira, I mean, that gets me in the mood to party and go out. So, Misfits. Walk Among Us.
Yeah, I mean, I like your point about Walk Among Us because it's more of a fun-sounding record, and I do want to think a lot about fun this time of year, especially with Halloween in October, so I hear that. So, okay, so number 1 for the fall, Typo Negative. The album that I choose is October Rust. It has a total fall feel all the way through. Has some pagan undertones, I think. Songs like The Green Man, or Green Man it's called. Redwater Christmas. That song I love, and it's like, okay, fall's coming to an end, so it represents to me the end of fall and heading towards Christmas. But Typo Negative, the sound, the production, the lyrics, the album cover, the album title, everything about this record to me is the fall. Absolutely. That is my number 1.
Cool. For my number 1, it is Typo Negative's World Coming Down. I completely understand what you're talking about with October Rust, but I mean, whenever it's coming to a close of summer and you start to feel that breeze and the fall air of like the dying leaves, you think of this song, White Slavery, the beginning, the so I mean, that has a special place in my heart for me.
I'm still going to lean towards October Rust because I just can't get over that, that album. I think that, to me, World Coming Down is probably my favorite Typo Negative album. But just October Rust is more appropriate for the fall for me. But it's funny, you didn't mention for your argument, for your record, World Coming Down, the fact that the song Hallows Eve is one of my favorite Typo Negative songs as well. Another one of my favorites on that album that you chose. So
I forgot about that.
Maybe it's a tie. But yeah, I'll still go by October Rust. But cool. Let's do some honorable mentions because why not? There's so many bands to mention, so many albums to mention. So let's just throw in these since we already did our top 10. Cool? Okay, honorable mentions. Skeleton Witch, I really want to make a detailed explanation for this because their album, Devouring Radiant Light, I love. It's like melodic black metal feel, nice guitar tones, nice feel. Vocals do sound witchy to me and windy. And the album production is clear without losing its heaviness of feel. And I can even hear a little bit of a rock vibe in some of the songs like Luminous Sky. But Skeleton Witch, Devouring Radiant Light, total fall witchy feel to me. So I wanted to mention that. But okay, ready? Amon Amarth with Odin on Our Side. Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. This one isn't metal. I wanted to throw this in out of nowhere. King Dude. There's an album called Love from a guy named King Dude. His music is described as Luciferian. Acoustic-y singer-songwriter style. To me, he sounds like an evil David Bowie, and he has a new album called Full Virgo Moon out as well. So check out King Dude if you want something different. Okay, back to the metal. Black Dahlia Murder, Nocturnal. Creeping Death, Wretched Illusions. Autopsy, Tourniquets, Hacksaws, and Graves. Cannibal Corpse, Torture. Ghost, the first record, Opus Eponymous, when they were still more mysterious. That whole album vibe, it's like a ritual, big one. Behemoth, Demigod. Iron Maiden, Killers. Slayer, Hell Awaits. Emperor, In the Night Side Eclipse. Black metal, we would have mentioned more black metal, but that's kind of saved for the winter, because that's when it's even more cold sounding. And I think that's all of my honorable mentions. I know you wanted to mention a few.
Yes, I have a few too. For a non-metal one, I'm going to go with Joy Division's Unknown Pleasures. That to me sounds like a goth Halloween dance party. I'm also going to go with Black Dahlia Murder's Verminous. That's their latest album, and I absolutely am digging it right now. And a few others that almost made the list is Killers from Iron Maiden, which you had on yours, and also Monotheist from Celtic Frost. It's very dark and evil sounding. So those are my honorable mentions. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video and supporting us. Comment down below your top 10 Halloween/fall list, and also comment any songs or bands that you feel this fits this list good too that we missed. And who do you think won the debates here? My father or me? So
on specific albums.
Yeah.
Or you could do the winner overall if you want.
Which is me.
No, but yeah, please comment, let us know your picks, and let us know stuff that we miss, especially because it's always good to hear more options for this heavy metal records for this time of year. And please follow us also, subscribe also, obviously, here, and like our video, please. And we appreciate you so much. But also follow us on Instagram at Little Punk People and at Elliott Fullam, ELLIOTTFULLAM. We're also on Facebook. Also our website, littlepunkpeople.net. And once again, thank you so much. And yeah, definitely comment. Let us know what you thought of our list. And I really hope that you're all doing well. And I really hope that you have a nice Halloween, a nice fall season, a nice rest of your year, a nice holiday season all around. And we appreciate you so much. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.